Hello. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name's Selwyn. I like video games. But in today's video, with all the Switch 2 stuff happening and the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out soon, I thought that it would be a really good time to talk about some Nintendo Switch games that I think that you should play before the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. Remember, this is my opinion. So if you know a Nintendo Switch game that people should play before Switch 2, leave it in the comments, and also leave a like, subscribe, because all that stuff helps. And let's get into it. All right, so to start off with, I'm going to start with Rune Factory 5. Now, Rune Factory 5 was the first Rune Factory specifically made for the Switch 1. And if you've seen my last video where I talk about some Switch games that I'm excited for Switch 2, you'll see that I'm excited for the new Rune Factory, which is Guardians of Azuma. They've nailed the farm sim in this. If you played any of the older Rune Factories, the farming simulation is what it's best for. But there's also combat in this. And this is the one that I'm recommending the most because it is the one that they made for Nintendo Switch specifically. But there is cool characters in this game. The farming simulation is pretty fun, and the combat can be pretty fun as well. So if you're looking for something that's a bit cozy and a little bit fun, not too serious, Rune Factory 5 is a good game to check out, especially if you're planning on checking out the new Rune Factory that's coming out for Switch 2. The next game that I'm going to recommend is an awesome game, super underrated. It is Astral Chain. Now, if you haven't played Astral Chain, it is an amazing game published by Nintendo, and it honestly doesn't get enough love, I believe. This is a game I believe will go up in value. I'm unsure whether they will have a sequel, but I think the Switch 1 version will gain value when more people realize how much of a classic this is. Basically, you're playing as one of the twin characters, and you have this thing called an Astral Chain that helps you use these huge, they're warriors, or I can't remember what they're called, but they are awesome. The combat in this game is so good. Like, honestly, if you haven't checked this out and you enjoy Nintendo Switch games, then you need to check this out. It is so good. Like, the combat is insane. There's a great story. The only thing I could say was that maybe one of the twin characters could talk in the dialogue would be better. But if they have a sequel, but this is an amazing game to collect. Even like, look at the art in that. That's what they're called. They're called legions. So you chain to your legions, and it's just amazing how the combat in this links you with the different legions, and there's so many cool combos you can do. The enemies in this are cool too. Some of the bosses are really cool. But again, an underrated game with a cool story that could have a sequel and may go up in value. So another cool one you should check out for Nintendo Switch 1. So we've got another one here that I really want to talk about, and I could talk so long about this, and it is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. This isn't the most recent Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Engage came out, and I do have that one. I've played that one as well, but I do not believe it to be as good as Fire Emblem 3 Houses. If you disagree, comment below. But this one right here is the best Switch Fire Emblem, and one of the best Fire Emblems to play in recent time. So in this one, you pick one of the 3 houses, whether it be the Blue Lions, Golden Deer, or I believe it's the Crimson Eagles. 3 cool main characters for each houses, and the main character that you play as well. Now, if you haven't played Fire Emblem, this is a great game to jump into. Great one to start off with. Super inclusive. And if you have played Fire Emblems before, you would agree that this one is so cool. There is so many cool characters in this. The story is awesome. I mean, look at all the different characters that you can have on your team in this one, depending on what house you pick. And you can all level them up your own way. How you want them to evolve is so cool. Even the main characters of each house have some awesome development they can do, and their own individual stories are amazing as well. So With this one, I do believe that there will be another Fire Emblem that they make for Nintendo Switch 2. Hopefully it's better than Engage and as good as Three Houses was. I think Engage was a little bit too easy, a little bit childish. I don't know, the story didn't really capture me like this one did. So I do believe there will be another Fire Emblem for the Switch 2. I don't know about value of this one, how it will hold up, but I still think it is a great game for you to check out on Nintendo Switch. What the, look, you're on video. You in the video. Hi. Now this next one is a bit of a weird one. It's actually not a Switch game. It's actually some 3DS games. And they are Pokemon X and Y. The reason I've got two 3DS games in this video and not Switch games is because one of the games I'm most excited for on Nintendo Switch 2 is the new Legends games Z and A that is going to come out. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be super cool to check out and see. If you enjoyed Legends Arceus, I'm sure this is going to be just as good. I had to include X and Y because the region it's going to be in is the Kalos region, and that is the region of X and Y. And these are also super fun games to play on the 3DS, and one of the best Pokemon games that they've brought out, I believe. I spent a lot of time playing Pokemon X. I have both of them. Amazing games to check out. Super fun. The Pokemon in these ones are amazing. They have a lot of the older regions Pokemons in these two, especially from the first region. So if you're new getting into Pokemon, it's cool to see those. And if you've been playing for a while, it's nostalgic to have those in the games. So before the new Legends games come out, which is set in this region, I think that checking out Pokemon X and Y, although they're not Switch games, if you have a 3DS, be a good idea to check these out before the new Pokemon on Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. So this last Switch game that I'm going to talk about is not even one Switch game, it's a whole series. So that's pretty cool. And it is a really awesome series. If you haven't checked this out, you really need to. And it is the Xenoblade Chronicles series. This is all the games on Nintendo Switch that you can get for Xenoblade Chronicles. This is the newest one, and I haven't played this yet, so I can't say much about it. The old ones are awesome. They are amazing games. If you haven't checked any of these out, you really need to. They all have a great story. The combat is fun in each of these games, and honestly, they're the whole package. You've got number one, the Definitive Edition, which first came out on the 3DS, I believe, and maybe the Wii, but this is an amazing game. Awesome place to start in the series if you're new to it. I'd probably recommend this one if you haven't jumped into any of them. Then you've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is better than number one and is awesome. Amazing story again. This is arguably one of the best ones. Has some awesome characters. My personal favorite is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It, to me, has the best characters, a really interesting story. Again, put your comment down below. Let me know what your favorite Xenoblade game is. We've also got the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, which is I believe it's the prequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And everything that was wrong in number 2, Torna fixes. And this, again, is an amazing game on its own. Any of these are good to check out. I do believe there will be a sequel, maybe a number 4 on Nintendo Switch 2, just because I know these games are really good and have a lot of hype. But I also think the original ones will hold a lot of value. Maybe not X, but I think that these ones may hold some value in the future as the Nintendo Switch 1 starts to die down and the Switch 2 becomes the main console. If you look down here, I have a lot of Switch games, and today we've talked about some really cool games. I could easily say even more. I mean, look at how many I have down there. That's 2 rows deep. I could say way more Switch games, but I really wanted to focus on a few that I thought that would be really good to play before you play the Switch 2. We've talked about some awesome games, but I would like you to put in the comments a game that you think people should play for the Nintendo Switch before Switch 2 comes out. But I know there's definitely going to be games in this list that people think I should have recommended as well. Can we just appreciate these old school 3DS games? I can't get enough of 3DS. I've had this game for so long and I put so many hours. This is when I got most into competitive battling for Pokemon. And yeah, I just really wanted to have a bit of an appreciation for Pokemon X. But again, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, because all that helps. And I just like talking about video games, so it's cool to share my opinions and have conversations about it with other people as well. So again, thank you for watching, and I guess I will see you in another video. See ya.
Boys up, boys up, boys up, boys up, boys up, boys up.